long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit, it's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngins pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beat stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.
See, this is what happens when my back is against the ropes. I come out swinging. My flow, my style, my look. They want my swag so bad, I swear I should write a book. Wake up every morning, check the grass for them snakes. Call these 9mm flows my rate. Bitches over money, no way. I don't fall in love, they just fall in love with me. Maybe it's the money, the cars or the clothes. They got them backstage at all of my shows. A legacy, yeah, I built it from the ground. But crabs in the barrel, they stay trying to pull you down. Acting ass niggas, I swear I should write a play. How they smile in my face, that's why I say I'll take on all you haters today, 'cause I'm not gonna let you get in my way. See, there's one thing that y'all don't understand. In the end, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Last man standing. Last man standing. Last man, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Last man standing. Last man standing. Last man, I'm gonna be the last man standing. My chain, my watch, my diamonds, I would give them all up to have a day of silence. 'Cause dealing with the paparazzi on a daily, I swear it's enough to drive a rich man crazy. Good weed roll up sky high. I just bought a mansion in its own cloud nine. I love a classy chick, straight out of the hood. So I'ma make it rain, baby, call it flash floods. Niggas putting bounty on my head. Sometimes when you so loud, they would rather see you dead. Call me hammer, they can't touch this. My whole life has been ordained. I'm going for the fame. That's why I say I'll take on all you haters today, 'cause I'm not gonna let you get in my way. See, there's one thing that y'all don't understand. In the end, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Last man standing. Last man standing. Last man, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Last man standing. Last man standing. Last man, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Lord, take this cross up off my back, it's heavy. I'm about to hurt somebody, heaven save me. I'm standing at the crossroad, I don't know what to do. My mind is what these haters trying to make me lose. Ever since the money, see these demons at me, and I can't seem to keep nobody real around me. You know how the saying goes, it's lonely at the top. I'm allergic to the bottom, and that's why I can't stop. I'll take on all you haters today, 'cause I'm not gonna let you get in my way. See, there's one thing that y'all don't understand. In the end, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Last man standing. Last man standing. Last man, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Last man standing. Last man standing. Last man, I'm gonna be the last man standing. The last man standing.
Y'all better quit playing with my boy Kales, man. That's last man standing, man. And in the end, he gonna be the last man standing, whether y'all like it or not. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Provoke Thoughts Live, man. You know, we up in this thing. You know, I'm trying to stay away, but y'all keep pulling it back in, man. You're pulling it back in. I be trying my best to do my 3 shows a week, but it's been one of them weeks, man, and I had to get down. You know, so as we know, unfortunately, R. Kelly's appeal didn't go the way that it should have, or the way that we wanted it to. We kind of know that the justice system is rigged in these instances, especially in New York, where you cannot get a fair trial and where they're highly prejudicial and highly racist in their practices in law. So you can, not to say that it was unjustified for Harvey Weinstein to get his conviction overturned, but it's just as unjust and unfair to deny a man in Chicago, his appeal and write a 4-page damn letter to do it when opinions like that should be very complex. So it's something in the buttermilk, if you ask me. I want to welcome to the panel. I just brought them on up because this is one that you just got to bring up who come up real quick and get them together. And I got my man Muse Black, man. I appreciate you for jumping over here and getting ready to get down with me on this situation and a few other situations that we're gonna expound on, because there's a lot of shit in the game, okay? And we're gonna address some of these things tonight. But tonight I want to talk about the prior bad act witness a little bit. But at the end of the day, let's interject, man. Do it the Muse Black way, the only way that it can be done, sir.
Man, I'm just on cloud 9 after you just played that song, the introduction, man. When you hear this man's artistry, man, his wordplay is just whoo. He can
shit.
And just man, whoo, wow. They missing that, man. But I just wanted to come back.
There was a lot said in that song.
Yes. A lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot he expressed in that, about, I don't fall in love, they just fall in love with me, and how noisy his life actually is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Still I'm sure. And for I understand what happened. I get it. I truly get it, because we know what time it is, man. We know what the justice system is, man. We got an American president that's going through it right now, based on the fact that it's injustices in this world, and they feel like they can do whatever they want to people. So we in a situation right here. We in a pickle, and we're gonna expound, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the panel, nice, hot, and ready. Sir Miguel, welcome, my brother.
Professor, the honor, Professor. How you doing, Miguel?
Muse, Eric, I'm good, man. I just wanted to just step in real quick and tell Derek, man, how proud of him I am, and how he's progressed on this channel and everything, man. Keep doing your thing. And at the end of the day, man, the fight is not over. This is just part of what the process is.
Yes.
And I don't know if you had a chance to go listen to Tracy's point of view in terms of what the dissent was, in terms of them writing. It was kind of garbage to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read between the tea leaves and what Jennifer Bonjean said about, in terms of moving forward, she gonna do what she need to do, because we all know and understand that there is injustice in that Chicago case. And if you go back, like I said, if you get a chance to go back and listen to Tracy's point of view, they're talking about the tapes and Nia going to the concert, which we know there was no concert at that time, so forth and so on. So there's some, excuse my language, some fuckery there. But at the end of the day, we know God has the final say on any and everything. So I'm gonna trust the process. And again, to my brothers that's on the panel, y'all keep doing your thing. keep supporting one another, man, and just continue to bring the news out here, because no one is going to fight more for us than we can for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Bingo.
It's about real men, real talk, unfiltered, man. We got to get this thing together. And the only way we can do it is to stand up, man. Stop bowing down to the BS, man, because as you've probably seen, Sir Miguel, I can bring up and have brought up numerous cases where it mirrors R. Kelly, man.
Absolutely.
It literally mirrors
Absolutely.
it. We finna do it again tonight, man, because Vince dropped the new one on Vince, where he's literally exposing this female, man, and it's crazy, man. I touched on it before. They did a fresh one. And it's
if you check this out. What's the brother name that played for the Dodgers?
You're talking
the baseball player.
Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer, yeah.
You see what's happening with that situation now?
Oh yeah, we did a full-fledged live on that. I think I did. I did Trey Songz, man. Like, it's crazy out here.
So, and I'm gonna say this, man, because I'm on my way home driving, so I know my internet gonna go in and out. But I think the thing with the New York appeal is because of those bad act witnesses, and he had so many of them.
It's over with. It's over.
That's gonna be a game changer there, and so we just gonna stay prayed up, man, and just continue to put the stuff out there. And as you say, we got to stand up. Not only we got to stand up as men, but we got to continue to fight for our rights as well. Man. And understand that you don't have to be a lawyer to understand the law. It's just really getting it to understand the little nuances in between. Because not only will it help you, but it's going to help your brother, your sister, your uncle, whoever. Because if they can go after the celebrity status, what makes you think they ain't gonna go after the one that don't have no status?
Man, it's easy pickings at that point.
You know what I'm saying? So
people off, and Sir Miguel, women are so aware of this. We saw the Neo thing last night on Big Vi and on my channel.
And yeah, I got one of that.
Man, Neo's baby mama went crazy and started talking about, she was salty basically because he had a female at the crib. She done popped up and just did her crazy baby mama bit, talking about he doing freak offs and you the next Diddy and you was a Tigger house and something popped off at Big Tigger house and it's gonna be a surviving Neo. All your business finna come out the streets. And then she threatened to slap the man multiple times, but he abused her. He body slammed her. And she took this and she posted it.
But you see, this is the sad part about social media. We've turned it into a thing of I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to do this because I feel this way, or you're not treating me this way. Whether you're a man or a woman and you decide to date multiple people, that's your choice. If you choose to go along for the ride, and then all of a sudden you stop going along for the ride and you got pissed off because it was a certain thing that you didn't like, you can't come back and try to hit a home run. Stay your ass at home plate and take the pitch that come to you. So
that's it.
if you want to be single, be single. But don't try to mingle when you understand that I got 3-4 women, I got 3-4 men. If that's what you choose to do. Don't come cry foul later.
Right.
You can't. That's not right. It's not fair. And at the end of the day, you got enough sense in your head to know exactly what the hell you're doing.
Yep.
Because if that young man who tried to defend his mother and was killed in the process of a domestic violence dispute, he had common sense to say, I can protect my mother. You a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman, nobody can't force you to do nothing that you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So knock it off.
Right.
Yep.
That's my 2 cents, and I'm done.
Yeah, now I don't. You know what I'm saying? If you get dropped off, man, you more than welcome to come back, bro. I don't know what you're connected. You know what I'm saying? Don't just sit on your laurels, man. Come back and hang out because we gonna trudge through some things. It's gonna be thoroughly entertaining if you ask me. I know I'm gonna be entertained regardless. So it is what it is. So I want you to come on back, man, and I appreciate the good words. You done showed that love in the chat, man, and I appreciate, saying everything you do and what you're about, man. And we gonna keep this thing rolling, man. That's all we can do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What
So
up with you? Much love, man.
What's up, brother? J Rock.
Mr. J Rock, this is what I like to call the statistician. the boy got the receipts and the notes, so you can look it up, and it's for real, and he is the timeline. So, if he give you a date, you better go ahead. You can go research it. You can ask Google. You can do whatever, and it's gonna come back the way that he said it, man. So, shout out to J Rock, man. What's going on tonight?
Just call him the Black Almanac. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So if I guess if I bring up something, I guess you can label it TC timeline certified.
Oh man, I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
if it's raining now, if you tell me it's raining, I'm gonna go ahead and believe it. It's gonna rain, I'm gonna believe that. Jake said the weather is frightful, and I get to go ahead and prepare.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna bring up something right quick because I got like my my Audible books and everything that I kind of go through. I came across a new one. I haven't had a chance to really go through it fully yet, but it's very interesting. I got this book. It's called The Conviction Machine: Standing Up to Federal Prosecutorial Abuse. By Sidney Powell, Harvey A. Silverglate, and Adriana Hunter. Now, the summary of it is, in 2009, Harvey A. Silverglate, a prominent criminal defense and civil liberties lawyer, published his landmark critique of the federal criminal justice system. 3 felonies a day, how the feds target the innocent. In 2014, Sidney Powell, a former federal prosecutor in 3 districts under nine United States attorneys from both political parties, and who has been lead counsel in 500 federal appeals, published her landmark indictment on the system. Licensed to Lie, exposing the corruption in the Department of Justice after she witnessed appalling abuses by prosecutors. More than a decade after she entered private practice. Now these 2 leading authorities combine their knowledge and expertise to describe the problems within the Department of Justice in the federal courts and to offer solutions. And so together, Powell and Silverglate shine a light on the end of deflections and on the defects of the system: overzealous prosecutors, perjury traps, negligent judges, perverse limits on self-defense, vague and overabundant criminal statutes, insufficient requirements for criminal intent, and no accountability for prosecutors. Most important, they provide a much-needed blueprint reforming the Department of Justice and the criminal justice system, including actions an average citizen can take up to restore justice.
J-Rock, give me the name of that book one more time, brother.
It's called Conviction Machine: Standing Up to Federal Prosecutorial Abuse.
Got it.
That was good.
And not only that, and the crazy part about it, it's I was going through it a little bit. I said, "Holy shit!" But when I came across it, I said, "I gotta get this. There's no way in hell I'm gonna pass this one up, because this hits too close to home from what we've been talking about for a long, long time."
So we're gonna talk about this New York appeal, since we didn't get into the legal aspect of things. I'm glad that you did that, and I'm glad that you read that, because now we're gonna expound on that with a little bit of legalese from someone who claim they know. We're gonna see what's going on with these bad acts, character evidence, and all this crap in sexual assault cases. So And we'll expound on it as well, even during.
Many of my sexual assault clients have asked me this question over the years, that they, for example, were in a relationship with this person who's now accused them of sexual violence against them, sexual rape or sexual assault many years ago or even recently. And they say they have, look, quote unquote, dirt on the person. They know they're a bad person. They know they are dishonest and this sort of thing. And I can prove it. I've got this proof. I can call other witnesses. And I have to slow them down. I said, whoa, time out. There's rules of evidence. And fundamental rule of evidence is in criminal court, you tend to have to stick to the germane issue of relevance. So proving the case, disproving the case. Now, there's exceptions to every rule. With a sexual assault victim, and any witness really, you're allowed to cross-examine to a certain extent on bad character. And let me give you an example. So, of a case that I recently did. So I had a case where my client was accused of many years ago of sexually assaulting a younger man. And we had evidence that this person, first of all, we knew they had a serious criminal record for crimes of dishonesty and drugs. We had some knowledge that they were in and around the time of the events were involved in, dishonesty, drug dealing, heavy cocaine use that could affect memory and this sort of thing. So let's talk about the criminal record. So first of all, so a fundamental rule is I'm allowed to put to them that they've got a criminal record. And, look, you've been convicted of A, B, C, D, crimes of dishonesty. I'm allowed to even delve into the facts of those and say, well, you dealt a pound of cocaine, you dealt this, you stole from here. And this shows their credibility, that there might not be a credible witness. As far as the other evidence goes that they were involved in drug dealing per se, if I have a good faith basis to put that to them, and I did, I had proof of that, and they admit it, that's great. If they deny it, I'm stuck with the answer. I can't, because it's a corollary issue. It's a collateral issue that it's not part of the main proof of the case. So that's called the collateral fact rule. Now, fortunately, this particular person didn't know that rule. He admitted it because he probably knew I had the proof. So I was able to prove that they were generally leading a ne'er-do-well lifestyle at the time of use of drugs. That's important too, because drugs can affect memory. They were addicted to oxys, addicted to cocaine. And again,
so this is in reverse from what I'm gathering. But bad character evidence when it comes to that's one of the reasons why I feel like that they didn't want R. Kelly to submit any damn thing, because of the simple fact that they didn't want him to delve into the life of these criminal minded people and prior situations that they probably got hammed up in. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because they ran all of this evidence at R. Kelly.
Right. Exactly.
They
play a dirty game, man. They play a dirty game. Period.
They ran it, but they denied him that ability when it came to his right to face his accuser and question them properly about their history, motives, and all of that shit.
And that's the problem. And what he's saying in this. Yep. And that's what them judges that always play that for them Supreme, I think the top Supreme field color, Supreme, whatever, them three. She said, he said, you already, what she said, Derek, she said, you got individuals who have a mouth, a rhapsody mouth. You already got three that already contradict their story and all of that. So to pile on, and that prosecutor, every time that you play that prosecutor irritate and vex my soul. Because she's not even hearing nothing to judge. She is, these jokers be so on, and I yield back on this. They be so about their career, trying to get to a bigger law firm for their career to get the back. They be so on that. You know what I mean? And that shout out to people like Bonjean that can peep the game and use the very law that they're manipulating to hold them accountable. So of course you got a lawyer like that come in like that. oh, you're gonna feel like, oh, you're gonna speak against that, right? Because that's exposing your, you know what I mean? That's the stuff you got to deal with, man. You
Right.
know what I mean? Man, listen, bro. Woo, man.
Absolutely. So let's keep moving. Let's see what else you got to say, because this is interesting.
If they would not have admitted that, but he did, I would not have been able to offer extrinsic proof of that because it's not part of the main issue. So quick recap, criminal records, I can introduce underlying facts. In fact, if they deny it, I can actually prove the record and prove the facts, or the record at least. Other collateral issues of bad character evidence, of their bad lifestyle, of drug dealing generally, of lying generally. If I have a good faith basis for it as a lawyer, I can't just make things up. I can put that to them. If it's denied, I'm stuck with the answer. But in many cases, victims of crime who fall into this kind of bad character person, they don't know that, and they'll admit things. Not always it's denied and you're stuck with the answer. But the most powerful weapon, though, a bad character evidence is a criminal record, because if someone, let's face it, someone has got convictions for theft, convictions for drugs, convictions for this, crimes of moral turpitude, crimes of this show a bad character, it clearly affects their credibility. And I've won cases just on that basis. Whoa, the judge goes, whoa, this person lies consistently, and they got essentially a record for crimes.
But when the jig is up and they want you, they're not going to even let you. They didn't even allow. You know, they handcuffed this man, tied his legs up, everything, to make sure that he couldn't defend himself.
I like the point he's making, because when he got to that point he just made, the person that came to my mind, you all, was chapter 7.
Yep. Yep.
Was cold with it. He was cold with it. you know what I mean? Man, listen, bro.
But you can't talk about the fact that he was a crackhead.
Right.
We can't talk about the fact that you stole all type of shit from this man.
You know what I mean? And then even himself, he said, "Oh, I ain't said that. The government said that." I know the prosecutor was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, dude, we just had a conversation in the back. What you doing? What you want?" Like, boy, y'all underestimated that joker for a quick criminal, man, at his best.
And see, and that's the funny part. You're gonna uphold a conviction when you got shit like that floating around.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we already know why, and we're gonna discuss why in a minute. But let's go ahead and keep on rolling with this man, because he's making some valid points of, you know, just on the Bonjean side of things, or how, you know, she said that it was things that the jury should have heard that they didn't hear.
Right.
You know, bad character evidence is most certainly them text messages. You know, or most certainly the fact that, you know, Rashana Landfair was you know, shopping for how much money she could get.
Mm-hmm.
And that's real. You know, you got people that popped up out of nowhere. He met me here, and somebody slid the number. That was the similar story. And you got some on all these chicks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every last single one of them. So let's go.
Dishonesty and lying.
Oh, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Now think about the dude DJ Kid.
Mm-hmm.
He got 19 years, but he's supposed to have abused or sexually assaulted over 700 teens. Now you tell me what's wrong with that picture.
Every damn thing.
Okay.
Everything. It's not about it. A lot of times it's about who, not what.
Thanks.
Yep.
Obstruction of justice, for example. So there's a quick primer on how bad character evidence can be used against a sexual assault victim who's truly a person of bad character. Now, most you know, I don't know how many sexual assaults over the years, literally dozens, maybe up to 100 over the years, but in my career at least, you know, I can count on one hand though where I had this true type of evidence, and those are pretty easy wins when you have that type of evidence, especially a person with a criminal record, let's face it, and who's involved in drug dealing, who's involved in a lifestyle that you can show as a lifestyle of lying, essentially. So there you have it. That's a little bit of primer on this type of bad character evidence against victims of sexual assault, or I should say alleged victims. And I just want to mention that our firm has offices in Toronto, London, Kitchener, and Windsor. We also represent sexual peace charged with all types of crimes, including sexual crimes across Ontario, including other type of offenses. And if you want to give, for example, our Toronto sexual assault lawyers a call for a free consultation, feel free to do so. We'll help you out and give you some good advice.
All right, yeah, I appreciate that, dude, man. That was actually some real profound stuff, man. Shout out to him, for bringing the real. Like I said, we saw that happen. We saw it happen to where you couldn't bring things in, but I guess in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which state laws is pretty much similar, except for the fact that this weed is smokable everywhere. I wish, but at the same time, here we got this crookedness where we can't ask nobody shit. We just got to listen to them accuse and cry and point the finger, and we never point the thumb back at them. But the thumb is pointed at you, sugar. You the one that's out here clowning. So just to we're gonna take a little pause for the calls, and I want to thank all of the 25 people that are watching right now. 24, I guess. Somebody dropped off, but I appreciate you for being in here. If it's your first time coming in to the channel, make sure that you do like, share, and subscribe. Those likes and those shares and those subscriptions are very, very vital to the growth of anybody's channel. And I would love for my channel to grow, and I would love for us to just be, the bomb together. You know what I'm saying? So let's try to make that happen, man. It's not even really hard to just say click, click, and be done with it. So at the end of the day, man, we are here to fight injustices, at its highest degree. We are here to fight injustices at its lowest degree. It's just all about making sure that we take care of each other, man. Because when you see it, you gotta say something, man. If it's smoke coming out of a house, you gonna sit there and let everybody in there burn? Nah, you gonna holler fire. And that's pretty much what we're doing. We hollering fire because we see what's going on, and we need for it to be fixed, man. We actually need for this to be fixed because it's a festering thing. Because anytime a female feels like they want to go after an individual, they simply just go after them, man. And they say, hey, he did this to me, or he touched me, or he made me feel a ways, or he spoke to me, he looked at me. He's a creep. And we can't have that, man. You know how apprehensive it makes a man to want to date out here? Because of that simple fact. It don't matter if you're rich or you're poor. It don't matter if you're middle class, lower class, upper. It can happen to you. Easily. As we listened to Neo's baby mama last night on Big Vine on my channel, she literally said she just saying shit to be saying shit because she mad. Doesn't that remind you of Asriel Clary saying shit just to be saying shit because she was mad? And she went so far as to say she scooped out some shit out of a cup and ate that shit. That's how mad she was. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, man, sometimes in this world. So, J-Rock, man, what was your opinion on that bit of footage that I showed?
Man, let me tell you. Why is it like 99.99% of it is exactly a mirror image of what R. Kelly went through?
It's wild.
I mean, especially when he brought up the point talking about the right to face his accusers, which obviously would also mean the accuser's testimony, which also would bring up the fact about like with I don't know, Faith Rogers and her medical records that were never discussed.
Right.
Which when I noticed that part, I was like, you know what? That was immediately where my mind went to.
It's an eyebrow raiser if it's anything, man.
Yeah, because her medical records would have blew the whole thing open, because right then the whole prosecution, everybody would know, oh hell. Now the so-called victim is now in question because R. Kelly didn't even give her no STD. And that would have been the beginning of that whole crumbling of that whole case against her.
Right, and the thing about it is, he should have been able to go so hard against them prior bad witnesses.
Mm-hmm. And what's so funny to me is, what case have we ever heard that involved regard to sexual assault, whatever the case may be, SA, whatever, and if parents involved, that the parents were not allowed to testify?
Right, because if it's a minor, parents should be allowed to testify. They should be made to testify if it was a minor at the time.
Right.
If it was a minor at the time, then the parents need to be on that stand. Why would you send your daughter to a grown-ass man when she was 17 years old? Why?
But nobody wants to touch it. You hear people say, well, the parents ought to be in jail too. The parents should have been on that damn stand.
They should be in jail.
They should be on the stand, then go to jail. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, they should be testifying in orange jumpsuits, is what I'm saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't even see how that would even make a difference though, them going to jail. I mean,
the reason why I feel that they should is because they committed crimes. They sought their kid out, man, for financial gain. They tried to get this man to peddle dildos, man. They need to be locked up.
Keep in mind, that's considered child neglect as well.
Right.
okay.
You know what I mean? So that right there, they should have been on the stand to testify. But at the end of the day, I still believe that young lady was 18 and not 17.
I believe it too.
17 more. I think the 17 was used as leverage because, as they say, with the so-called videotapes or whatever it was, thousands of this, that, and the third, well, there was nothing. They didn't produce that. Because at the end of the day, whatever information R. Kelly had in his storage in terms of people's IDs and copies and shit like that, that should have been presented as well. But of course, that wasn't presented at all.
Of course, I think them jokers got to that storage and stole that stuff.
Muse,
Oh, yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the thing that's really always boggled my mind, Brother Miguel, is let me say this. Oh man, how can I say this? We as men make decisions when it comes to relationships that we a lot of times don't vet. Sometimes it takes experiences after a number of scenarios to say, okay, I'm not going through that again.
Right.
And we can start now based on the conversation, red flags stand up. When before we might have dismissed it and this, that, or whatever, our agenda, whatever our motive is, thought we had an understanding, we cool, man, we vibe, whatever. But you can't make a decision solely on someone's potential. You got to make sure they bearing the fruit of integrity and moving that way. And if you want some type of, some other kind of stuff, then it is what it is. Both of y'all know, hey, y'all moving like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, I don't know if that was detected in him, whereby she was able to get information to the extent where I believe she was always planted. I believe she was planted there specifically for that. If it just in case this offer is not taken, then we got this in place, and then when she wind up avoiding the plan for her own personal whatever, and was strategically, I do believe, trying to be the number one stunner. And
Mm-hmm.
when that was truly found out that that was never going to happen, I don't want to put it in the age bracket of immaturity, but because I know some 40, 50 on one, 60 on one, it don't matter. They still immature. So, like that. But in this particular scenario, you can see a person's mental state or emotional state wasn't quite intact. And in the climate that we're living in, you know what I mean? And you able to get, you follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That I think, and I get back on this point. I'm in certain platforms that I visit who talk about different things, their particular channel. Obviously, not their platform, but their particular channel because of the content. Crimson Cure, Reva TV, Olivia, Alexa, them type of women who stand up, who keep a balance. And it's gotten so bad to the point that now, what I be hearing and seeing in the comment section, men ain't trying to date. It's so bad. It's so dangerous. They're so careful. They said, man, I want to focus on my purpose, my entrepreneurship, being the best version of me, man, get my health in there. You hear this common thread, but it's probably, unless they married or whatever and they commit a relationship. But the ones who were considered getting into the dating market, he's like, you know, this stuff with me, all this, man, listen, bro. I ain't think it was this bad. I ain't think it was this bad, man. And I yield back.
Muse, I totally agree with you. I have seen several videos on this. I've seen dudes like, man, look, between now it's like guys like literally backing out of being involved in marriage or anything. They're not even touching it because it's gonna be like, what's my motivation for it? Why is it even how does it benefit me? Because you have to look at, okay, I have to deal with an unjust legal system, i.e. the child support system. I have to deal with that. And if I meet a woman that has kids already, then I have to deal with the fact that if I come attached to that child, I don't have any kind of authority to discipline that child. And then on top of that, if I become attached to that child, something goes on with me and the child's mother. Now all of a sudden, I don't, and we split up. Now I had to forego the attachment I had with that child. So it's a lot of stuff going on with that, man. I mean,
yeah, I've been there, bro. You know what? You singing my one of my songs on that one too. I had that happen, and it sucks.
And it's funny y'all. It's funny y'all brought it up because I was just telling my sister that the other day. I said, you know what? I said, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm afraid to date right now, straight up.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I don't have the time and the energy to put in that extra shit when it comes in, especially if it's gonna be toxic. You know what I mean? Because that's not how I move. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I need. And if I got to have all this extra shit that's unnecessarily, and then we get into something and you want to go put it on social media so you can have public opinion about my character and nobody don't even know me. No.
Right.
You know? And then at the same time, I also have to consider I still have a young man that I'm raising at the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather be solo than keep it simple.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's why I like individuals like Love Dorsey. Man, she shoots straight from the hip, man. She's straight, raw, and uncut. But she do it right down the middle, man. She don't hold back for no, because she keep a straight balance until you like it straight like that. I like the way she approaches from her perspective because she take it back to what we were taught, exposed to by our parents, and a lot of them didn't get it right. A lot of them really did what they thought was the best, you know what I mean, thing. Um, and just like somebody said, and I get back on this point, it's like you get to a point in your life where you in triple darkness. the baby boomers and before their time used to always coin this phrase. You didn't, I don't know that I don't know that I didn't know. You know what I mean? You get to, and then you see, oh, what they thought, okay, well, I'm not going to take your, I want to use your work ethic, but I'll take your principles, you know what I mean? Because you're talking about work, but you're not talking about entrepreneurship. So, you know what I mean? There's some things you make adjustments to, you know what I mean? As you
Absolutely.
navigate, as you move, you know what I mean? And a lot of things during that time, if you look at the climate that was going on, what we face today, man, is like, whoo, man, I didn't know it was this bad. You got some idiots and some clowns in office, for real. Like they want you off the planet.
Well, see,
Mhm.
brother, is
Go
the
ahead,
thing of
brother.
it is, all it is nowadays that's because of the cameras exposing what was already there.
Right,
You know what I mean? And now it's like that's people's trigger. Let me instead of shooting the gun, let me pop this camera on real quick.
right, right. Like the Neo situation. I was at
Yeah.
work winding down. I wasn't able to tap in, nephew, but I was able to catch the replay. And it's so well. It's unfortunate that because you can hear in the young lady's voice, you can hear it. You can hear it. They had nothing to do with putting on a child endangerment, but it had nothing to do with none of that. Derek Provost said some stuff early on in this game. He said, I forgot how he led up to it, but basically, you said that about you talking Mr. Kelly, uh, these particular women pursued, you got to really pursue a person of that status, busy like they is now. You really got to really do your due diligence if you're gonna get this person attention. Because now they not
Right.
sticking out like that. You got to
Right.
listen, you got to go through a lot to position yourself to get somebody like that attention. And that's really all it was. And he was saying, and then you go through these
Mm-hmm.
groups and you do all this stuff and whatever you finesse and maneuver and deceive, whatever you're doing, and then you don't get the guy, oh, you feel some type of way because you already had an agenda, you already entitled, you already on the lick in the come up, and
Mhm.
then you ain't emotionally healthy, emotionally stable, and your man, and I can use these groups just to back me. Oh, I got platforms that I can put stuff on Twitter or X and Instagram, all that a back man, even though it's some straight BS, and get a whole, support. Man, listen, all because I was on the lick, you didn't go for it, and I'm feeling some type of way. Oh, come on, bro. Man, you can have it, bro. You can have it. You can
But
have it. Been there,
on
done
the
that.
but on the flip side of that, you got some men doing the exact same thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why I always talk about that. I reference that song by Plies. If a person's heart is not in the right space, man, ain't no telling what they'll do, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like, let's say me and Miguel, we kick it, we boys, we straight thorough. That's loyalty right there.
Mhm.
But one of the guys that used to be his homeboy, they don't rock like that no more. He turned here up,
Mm-hmm.
dude underhanded, dude did some foul stuff, but because let's say I knew him before he knew Miguel, you know what I mean? You got others, they're still rock. No, I'm a person that's thorough, that's loyal. I can't get down with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the climate we got. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You, don't y'all mess with me, man, when I say what I'm finna say, man. Cause I ain't in the dark by no means. I ain't
Speak on it.
thorough with it. I ain't thorough with it. But I just still do listen to certain music, you know what I mean, to be updated. But one of my hip hop artists right now, you know what I mean? It's a couple of them. But to my point, it's a song. He talking about if pain was a person. That's the title of the song. Money Bags Yo. That's my dude.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Moneybag be dropping some lick, man. You know, and that's the kind of stuff he was talking about in this particular song. I'm saying, whoo, man, you talking about that resonated in my gut. I'm like, that's what it is right now. That's what's exactly going on, man. You know what I mean? So that's why I like that song that Kels did. As for Robert, here's what I got to do: get rid of all these clowns and get myself a whole nother crew.
For real though.
Feel me?
Last time,
You feel me,
last time I
bro?
checked,
You feel me?
last,
You got to move like that, man.
last
You
time
got
I
to know why
checked,
people in your space,
Hey,
man.
my man Sir McGill trying to say something more, I think. What
last
was you
time
about to
I
say,
checked,
McGill?
you got a problem with somebody. You talk to that person individually and private and leave it there.
There you
It
go.
ain't meant for the rest of the masses of people
There
to,
you
to,
go.
to hone in on what you're saying, to
There
sort
you
of
go.
take your side on something that they really don't know.
There you go.
See, we done got to the point now where, opinion is so-called now evidence. Now. People's
Right.
opinion of something is now can be administered in the case now. That's not how that go. If I got an issue with one of my brothers, then I'm gonna go talk to him. It's not gonna be for social media, and it's definitely not gonna be brought up in the first place, because that's not how it go, and it shouldn't be that way.
One of the main things, man, is that level of loyalty.
Yeah.
The level of loyalty amongst men is crazy. And it's almost non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only way that we can even get somewhere in these type of conversations or even make the needle move is that there needs to be a level of unity between men. That's one of the reasons why I really like, you know, Big Vice channel, Black CEO channel, my channel. I feel like that we found something that a lot of people couldn't find when they was trying to do this fight in the very beginning for R. Kelly. And that was unity amongst men, not just black men, because you know my channel don't just do black people. It's about all people, man.
Right.
You know, it's about all of us, man. You know, we all bleed the same blood. We all under attack, to be honest with you. You can see it. You know, you can't turn your head and not know it's happening. You've already seen it. So at the end of the day, we all as men need to stand up and stop punking the hell out. You know, there needs to be an understanding of what this world really is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I say it a lot of times, man. We got a lot of Liliths running around. You know, a lot of people are not aware that before there was Eve, there was a Lilith that was made out of the same dirt and same sand as man. And guess what? She didn't want to conform to shit. She didn't want to do missionary position. Mommy always wanted to be on top. And she got ousted out of the Garden of Eden because of that, because she would not submit to the man's mission. Submission does not mean lowering yourself, you know, to a man. It's being up under his mission, holding it up, not tearing it down. And that's what we see. We see women coming into men's lives and tearing down their mission. Because R. Kelly did not go looking for none of these women. Why would he have to look for anybody? He's R. Kelly. But they looking for him because he got something that they want. Not the other way around, because he can get that anywhere, at any hour, in any minute of any day. So we must understand that. You know, I ain't cut like that to the any day, any hour, any minute thing, but I can get mine when I get it. But at the same time, we got to understand, and society has to understand, because they played this man like he was Joe from around the corner. And that wasn't even the case. This is a celebrity sex symbol that was manufactured as a sex symbol by the industry. He didn't want to sing a sex album. Even on 12 Play, he hit us with Sadie and For You to let you know that the man believe in love.
He called it humanity song.
Hmm?
He called it humanity song. It's the
Mhm.
same. It's the same thing that Pac constantly addressed and talked about.
All of R. Kelly songs are humanity songs, bro.
Yeah.
It's about human behavior,
Right.
human thought.
Yeah. Well, you don't have creative control, J Rock. You know, you could probably speak on that. I mean, they'll probably speak a little bit more on that. When you don't have creative control totally, and you don't have total say so of what goes on the album, what this and that. You know what I mean?
He
How to,
was a
and a lot of people don't understand the politics and how the record execs, direct that type of stuff for the market, for the public. You know what I mean?
absolutely. So the thing about it is, he was talented enough to give the industry and the people what they wanted. Now, but you also have to think about this. There's a lot of people with a lot of incredible albums out here that didn't get the promotions and the push that R. Kelly got as well. If he wasn't pushed, it wouldn't have happened. And we all know this is fact. It's some singers out there that can sing like a bell. There's some writers out there that can write a song that'll put tears all in your eyes. But if they ain't willing to promote and push you, and you're not willing to, he was willing to do what he needed to do, and he could do it well. I need you to write a song for Luther Vandross. Okay, I got to turn into Luther then. Yeah. Real. I got to do Michael Jackson.
There you go. There you go. Because I don't care what no one says, J Rock and Miguel, for vote and chat family. That Invincible album that MJ did, that was off the chain. I don't care what nobody says.
One of his better albums. It was current.
I get behind that Joker, man.
It was current, man. Heaven can wait. Heaven can wait. Break of Dawn, Butterfly. Man, quit playing with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Under promoted by Sony Music, who thought just like they thought with R. Kelly that he was beyond his prime.
Terribly under promoted.
It made no damn sense that R. Kelly had to go on the internet begging for people to buy his album because they didn't promote it. If they had promoted it like they should have, he wouldn't have to do none of that shit. Because if you can remember, even though his albums was heavily bootleg, they were still going platinum in the stores. Still. A lot of people couldn't make it through that type of piracy back in the day. It killed careers. But he managed to still go 3 and 4 times platinum, and they selling. Just imagine if it wasn't no CD burning when TP2.com came out, or when Chocolate Factory came out, and you had to carry your ass to the store and get it. Imagine how many albums he would have actually really sold. Like I said, this has been a long going step, and it ain't even from. I blame some of the public for doing that type of shit.
Right, and we all know probably the most bootlegged album of R. Kelly's career was that Loveland album.
Yeah, Loveland was crazy. Loveland, he had to drop it. He had to drop 12 Play fourth quarter.
And see that album would have. I think that one and 12 Play fourth quarter, both of those albums really would have changed the face of R&B if they would have been released on mainstream.
Can you elaborate on that, J Rock, a little bit?
The songs on the on the Loveland album, I mean, when I say he had some bangers on that thing, oh my god, the song because you can still pull up.
That was a better album. That was a better album than Chocolate Factory. I'm not gonna lie.
But,
I'm not gonna lie. He literally had to give 2 of the songs away to Joe.
Mm-hmm. And it's ironic, and I'm glad you said that because it's ironic that there's this story floating around that Joe said that R. Kelly tried to derail his career. Mm-hmm. How in the hell did R. Kelly try to derail your career when you got 2 songs from him? So if the person that you think derailed your career, why would you accept 2 songs from him to begin with?
Because he was getting damn well.
Right. And see,
he needed a hit.
But you know what? I got my own theory as to why I think he said that shit. He said that shit, and I don't even think it wasn't even R. Kelly, really. What it really was, it was the people in R. Kelly's camp, the people around the label that was probably doing some bullshit that got that, and then it got back to Joe, and then probably the same people in R. Kelly's camp and said, "Well, I didn't do that. R. Kelly told me to do it."
Same thing with Biggie and Pac. It's the same thing, man. But the funny thing is that, and I'm not saying it don't happen because there's humans everywhere in any part of the music industry. But I don't hear that type of dispute with country western music, man. You know what I mean? My man raised us to appreciate, all that type styles of music. I don't get into the heavy metal and all that other stuff like that. You know what I mean? But he has stuff like you said, country, blues, R&B, rhythm, jazz, all that type of stuff, pop music. You know what I mean? And so I got a palette for I can appreciate a certain artist, opera, all that kind of stuff. But it just amazes me how that Willie Lynch thing, bro. Woo, man, bro. The psychological impact, man. That joker's still breathing and alive, Brother Miguel. Woo, man.
Well, it's just like the good book says. Things will be passed down from generation to generation. And things will also be passed down from gene to gene. So the life cycle don't stop, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure out who's in your camp.
Right.
Who's around you whispering the so-called sweetness, but it's really bitter to knock you off your square.
Yep.
People talk about jealousy. Well, bitterness is
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real. I didn't know. Don't get me wrong, wasn't naive, but really, when Mr. Kelly case came about, man, this next time around, and listen to everything, it what really I think blew my mind that stood out among everything you all is that individual. If you really question them and really try to have a decent, back and forth dialogue with them, they really didn't have a real reason themselves. It was only because of what was said and what you believe to be so.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of individuals, and that's a dangerous thing as a human being to live in this world like that, where your brain, your mind, you don't utilize at all for yourself. You let another person or another group or government think that's dangerous, man.
Yeah. So I tell you what, like I said, we in celebration of my man's tonight, man. And I'm over here letting y'all talking. I'm pulling up some shit, and we talking about unreleased music, bro. And I be vibing, and I be digging. And I don't know if y'all done heard it for the first time a couple days ago. Love it to death.
Girl, this ain't just no sex. Oh no, baby, you haven't helped it with that.
RMBExclusive.com. Rated GS. Grown and sexy. Your #1 site for new music.
Changes. We broke up with each other, then got right back together. I tell you, sometimes love is the strangest. Whether you from the suburbs or the hood, you know that love is a pain that can make you feel so good. It'll take you on a trip, and you'll enjoy the ride. Get you up like a rocket, then drop you out the sky. But not you, baby. Not you, girl. I believe that you true, baby. You got me, baby, on the moon with a flag, about to make my mark with no regret. So before we take off our clothes, there is something I want you to know, baby. This ain't just no sex to me. Baby, this ain't just no sex to me. Girl, I want you to know that this ain't just no sex to me. Ain't just no sex to me. Baby, this ain't just no sex to me. Baby. Now we've been all off in clubs, cursing each other out. Baby, we done said some foul shit about our mouths, knowing we never mean to hurt each other. But the reason we do it is because we're both so damn jealous.
What I want to do is I'm going to let that breathe, because that's what we're going to do all through the next rest of the few minutes, man. Cold-blooded individual, right? This just ain't no sex, baby. We in this. You know, can't nobody bring a song like this. Today, tomorrow, ever. I felt every single word, been through every single moment that he talked about in this song. You know what I'm saying? It hurts so good for love. You feel me? So, we finna hop out of that, man. That make everybody feel better, feel good, feel real good. Listening to Kales at his best, letting us know that it just ain't no sex, man. It just ain't, this ain't, what we have in here, Miss Lady. It just ain't that.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? So
look, when you cold like that, you just cold.
Like that. You can give them whatever they want, whenever you want to. Whenever you want. And that's what they don't want at this point. It's a lot of agendas that have come about. And one of the things is the desexualization of men. They don't want reproduction. They don't want you sitting up listening to R. Kelly and grinding it out. Male or female, man, they don't want it. They're trying to take it away from you. They're going to mess around, make it illegal. They already talking about, you can abort a kid up until the 9th month if that's what they want in certain states, even after the baby's born. So how can we quell that? We lock up the biggest baby maker of all times. Trust me. It's not a mistake that any of this is happening or is happening. But like I said, we got to fight. And letters are needed to the Supreme Court right now, only Queen. Right now. We need to go ahead and figure this thing out and bring it all together and write these letters, man. We're going to have to get a template together or something, to make this happen, because the injustices are ridiculous. For my Trump supporters to be over here, the injustices are ridiculous. It's so crazy. And I do believe that if there is some type of problematic situation and we can't get the justice that we need, if we get my boy Trump off up in that thing, it's going to be justice, baby. For real. And the immunity case is purely for Trump. They wouldn't even blink a bat an eye about anything else from anyone else but him. And that's the real problem here. It's so selective, so selective. Absolutely, we need them for Mr. Trump and Mr. Kelly. We need it all. And we have to understand it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, fellas. Let's talk about it. What we gonna do about these letters?
Well, I would have to understand how we would get the letters to them at the end of the day, because keep in mind they're gonna basically go with the law anyway.
Well, the Supreme Court not necessary. Supreme Court is truly about justice. That's the clean courtroom. Everything else is fluid.
No, I'm getting at what I'm saying is they're going to use the rule of law anyway, and I'm
Absolutely.
just trying to figure out.
How should it be approached with legal statutes?
Exactly.
I mean, we can talk about the prior bad act evidence and the people that were uncharged. Richard Arline and whoever the other dude was, and all of that, man. We gotta get to it in such a way.
See, it's funny you should bring that up, because you haven't heard nothing else about any other so-called John Does in this now, because they threw Richard Arline up in there as some BS to obviously just to try to spice some shit up anyway.
Man, I knew he was sweet meat when I first saw him. Anybody that admits to that or lie about that, that's you, boy. You better quit playing with me.
Right, because in regards to Kels, if you really look at it, if he had that kind of quote unquote fetish or whatever the hell you want to call it, you could just go right back to the fact. Well, then why didn't he try to? Why didn't anybody from B2K had actually come out and spoke out against him, if that was the case? Because he was working with B2K right around just before the Chocolate Factory dropped. And he had wrote multiple hits for B2K when their album dropped. So he spent extensive time with them. So you would think that one of them would have said something about it.
I'll put it this way, J-Rock. In general, anybody would have said something about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And again, if people don't understand what a so-called P is, they're consistent in what they deal with. There's no up and down ladder in terms of age or none of that. They're consistent in it at the end of the day.
It's crazy because you got grown women out here as Jane Does. How can you fight a Jane Doe, man?
Right.
And
again, how can you fight he said, she said?
Right. Because there was no physical evidence of any sex anywhere between him and nobody, but and that's my problem. You say you need experts to confirm a tape. You don't need the person to say, yeah, that's me. I can get them to, yeah, that's me. That would be on the tape. How old was you, 14?
And keep this in mind too, what you just said, bro. Why would somebody need to show me something if I know I'm on the tape?
I'm talking about. I'm like, you sit up, you can set the scene, tell me what you ate that day, all type of stuff. But when they ask you a crucial question about the next time you came over, or the letter that you wrote, or the things that you sent in text, I don't recall. Oh my God! But you can remember every single thing else.
And you putting money on this man book still before you decide to do whatever you need to do. Really?
It is simple as this. I'm going to tell you why. Jail records. Jail records. Period. The reason why these females that was long standing in his life, like a Rashawn Landfair and an Azriel Clary, flipped on this man is because of jail records and phone calls that they heard because of Tasha K. Tasha K didn't just stop at giving no information to no doggone Azriel and her family. She's not that. Tasha K be in go mode, bro.
Mm-hmm.
She in go mode. So
you know,
it ended up in Homeland Security hands. It ended up in everybody's hands that had no business with it. They sit up there and they took it to what's her name? Andrew Cool took it to Boss Baby. Look at how he's talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody said some bullshit about it, you know what I'm saying? Man, that bitch, I ain't feeling like that. Oh, really, nigga? Oh yeah, I'll cooperate. Simple as that. Simple as that. They turned Rashana against him. They turned Azriel against him. Don't ever get it twisted. Never get it twisted. Then they put that PPP loan in their face. If you don't, if you don't, we coming for you. And that PPP loan.
Man, let me say this. If you said that, I ain't gonna get into it. We don't want that much information, but I was in the break room at my job, and it was said from the union representative that they're coming after individuals that's on my particular job that actually got involved with that PP for long. The government is really on top of this. So people who have done that, man, mercy on you. You know what I mean? And people potentially lose their jobs, man. You know what I mean? That stuff is serious, man. You know. This was, and this just, we had this talk like some days ago. I think it was even last week. I think it was.
Right.
So yeah, that's good. That's been going around, and I don't think it's just my particular company. I think a lot of companies been looking at it, man. You know, they've been talking about. I've been hearing this, and I think, by the fact, I think it was in our local news that they had mentioned that. I'm like, whoo, man.
So that's the problem. People think when so-called money is free from the government, it ain't free. It ain't free. If you don't have a legitimate business and you ain't using that PPP loan for what it served for, and you doing other shit, like they put up on the dude at the barbershop, he bragging on Instagram, he even bought a Lambo, and he walked right up in there and grabbed his ass. And
wow.
his haircut.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
then I found out that I think when the union record was saying that if you work for a company that's federally funded, like that, you don't even qualify for none of that.
That's true.
What information that they were sharing, you got individuals on top who actually apply and got, man, listen, I was just sitting back like,
Yeah, I'm here to tell you, bro, it's crazy out here in these streets.
One thing you don't play with is IRS, man. They said, what they say, child support and IRS. Them the people you don't play with them people, bro. Them people you don't play with.
Yeah, no, you don't. You know what? I got to drop out right quick. I got to go ahead and try and get my food right quick. But
okay.
I'll probably jump back on probably about another 20 minutes or so, maybe.
Okay.
But I'm gonna jump back on if I know y'all still on for sure.
All right, J-Rock.
Got you, man. See you in a minute, brother. Yeah, I'm trying to get my girl Nisimo off up in here real quick. I'm trying to get her together. So just give me a second, y'all. Bear with your boy.
And I think too, when you talk about writing letters in terms of law, because Congress create the laws, we gotta start with the state representatives and them cats, because they out here doing this stuff, man, and they're giving it to the federal judges and to the appellate courts to use. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier on Vice Channel, just before we came on, Miguel, that like Uncle Luke was talking about, and others have said, you got to look at the who's in alliance with these individuals that dump
Mm-hmm.
money in these people's campaign, man. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And if you're not aware of how these jokers maneuver in this law, and if you're not in the political party, you got to participate and be at least be aware of what's going on. And
Mhm.
and Uncle Luke was breaking some stuff down, man. It was really a teaching moment for me because he approached it in a way that I'm like, wow, I never heard it, like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he was sharing some really powerful things, man, that I didn't even know he was involved in. I was like, whoa. I didn't know he was one who was responsible for the parental
Oh
advisory
yeah.
stick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was
sir.
him.
Sure
And
was.
I'm like, what the what? He was dropping some game, man. I
Because
was like, oh,
It was him
just
and
think,
NWA popped that off.
yeah. Think about it this way, brother Muse. See, people get mad, but understand, prosecutors and defense attorneys, they all work together.
hmm
Yeah,
Whether
and
you,
the
with
judges.
the judges, right? So when you go to these political functions, they're all there.
right, right,
They're
Hmm.
all there.
right,
They spending their money, blah blah blah. See, as long as you can pass the paper, the fiat currency for that campaign, and you come with your paperwork saying you need this for your district and so forth and so on, hey, that's your lobby right there. That's your lobbyist right there. They're not coming to the ghetto and the boroughs
right,
asking you to really support them.
right,
They're going where the money is.
right,
And as
right,
long as you can pay 25,000 for a plate or whatever it is,
right.
and you cashing them
hmm
checks, well,
hmm
such and such sort of in line with my ideology. So I need you to put him in place so he can be on the bench, him or her or whoever. Blase,
Right,
blase, blase.
right.
That's how they do it.
Mm.
They've been doing it for years, hundreds of years.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to go ahead.
Think
I want to go ahead real quick. Welcome a girl to the channel because she ain't got too much longer because she got some things to do. Welcome, Nikki Mo. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. Good to talk to you all the time.
Hey, sweethearts, how you guys doing?
Hey,
good.
hey,
So
hey.
how are you?
Hold on, darling.
Nothing much, nothing much. Mm. Well, the first thing I want to say, I hope everybody's had a great and wonderful day. Um, and I also want to say our reasons for sending the letters in. We're sending in, the letters are actually first of all, for character letters on behalf of Mr. Kelly, but we're also um, going to be sending these letters in to the Supreme Courts because we are now at a point where we're demanding to be heard as a people. We love the fact that the Supreme Court do what the Supreme Court does, but there are matters that we as a people need to form these letters together where it's unified and where we're standing unified as one body and demanding to be heard. Why are we demanding to be heard? Because we're seeing things that's just been slapped into our faces that we're having concerns about, and and when it concerns us as a people, our concerns may not affect them, but our concerns as U.S. citizens affect everything about our movement in this whole makeup. Because what we saw yesterday um, was, and I want everybody to hear me clearly when I say this. We witnessed, and don't get me wrong, I'm so proud that Mr. Weinstein was his case was overturned in New York. I am 1000% excited, happy, and overjoyed. But at the same time, we got to look at this thing for what and how they put this together in our face. And we just sat there and say, well, okay, well, we just got to deal with it. No, we've been dealing with it too long. When is enough enough? They overturned him. So they said tomorrow, which is today, we're going to make sure we send this letter from Chicago, this response from Chicago regarding Mr. Kelly. That nigga is still not going to be set free, regardless. We're not overturning anything for him. Just because we overturn this one doesn't mean that we're going to overturn that. Because what I don't know if people paid attention to what was stated in the reading. That was nothing ever stated in the trial of kidnapping. When did this man ever kidnap anybody?
That's the truth. Honest to God, I'm like, are you serious?
There was nothing even in the trial regarding kidnapping, but they come back with a response regarding kidnapping. And I want everybody to pay attention to what I'm about to say now. Who are they talking about? Who brought this to where we are right now? Tim Savage.
Big facts.
And all he's been saying is my daughter is kidnapped. He forced Angelo out.
Smoked that man out like a smoked turkey.
Angelo was never going to deal with this here the way that it was dealt with. It was okay. But he forced Angelo out. But he's the only one that's been talking about kidnapping. And if y'all go back and listen to what this man has been saying recently, my daughter has been held hostage, held against her will. Robert has been locked up for 5 years. But in your crooked, twisted mind, you still want to believe that this man is holding your daughter hostage.
You want inside information that she can tell him to help him out. That's all. That's all that is. You don't give two stuffs about her. That's my. I yield back.
Say that again. Say that again, Muse. I didn't hear you.
I believe Brother Savage motives is about the information that he can get from her to utilize.
I believe that 100%.
Yes,
He's
yes.
the background noise. What's up, y'all? What the fuck going on?
Hey,
what's up, nephew?
Hey, baby.
How you gonna kidnap motherfucking grown folk? Make that make sense.
I mean, it's possible, but not in this case.
No, man, that shit, that's bullshit, man. Who was kidnapped?
Nobody.
Who
Not in
on
this
the
case.
charges? Who was kidnapped on the charges?
Nobody.
It goes back to Lennon Webber. Like I say, consider using shit that R. Kelly was acquitted of as
Thank
his
you.
ruling
Thank you.
on justify him giving him a above the guideline sentencing. You know, all of this shit, man, them people ain't read their goddamn paperwork in no goddamn 2 months, 3 months. It took Harvey Weinstein shit over a year, man, before they came back. But like
And remember, they denied it the first time.
They denied the first time, then it went to the highest court it can go to. And that's the same shit with Kel shit. You know, them appellate judges, they denied the shit because they don't want to deal with it.
But our thing is, what we're trying, what I'm asking and wanting people to understand, if we keep allowing things that we're seeing happen before our eyes.
Oh, I can't hear you good. I don't know if everybody else can, but I'm hearing some wind.
Can you hear me?
It's kind of breaking up a little bit.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I hear you pretty good. I hear you great.
Okay. I said, but what I'm saying, we're looking at Rob's case, but there are many more cases to come. And I don't want us to get get this thing twisted to believe that these people have our best interest at heart. And at some point, we must take a stand. And I don't want us to sit here and act like that we're going to live forever. We're not going to live forever. We're leaving our children, our grandchildren behind, and great grandchildren behind. And we must stand for and fight, because right now, yesterday Harvey Weinstein was his thing was overturned, and in the same time, y'all they did turn right around and put their neck a knee on a black man's neck again.
Let me, can I say something? Let me say this. Let me reiterate some stuff and say this flow. I'm not well versed. I may admit, like Brother Provoke is when it comes to the political thing. But one thing I rely heavily on: observation and deductive reasoning, aka Brother Miguel, common sense and spiritual discernment. Here's my thing: how this world is functioning. You have individuals that are in high places of power. That God did not put them there. Um, and there are some people that I believe that God allowed to be in certain places to carry out His purpose in the earth for justice, and and all of that, how that goes. You got to understand that who is associated with, who's in alliance with these particular judges, who donated and dumped money in their campaign to get them on their seat, who nominated them. So if you don't have someone that you can reach out, that's a senator
And
that can take to the floor and present it. You follow what I'm going, Miguel? Then you don't have a dog fight in this thing. And a lot of individuals that make it big. I'm just using this for an example, and I yield back on this point. That and there's nothing wrong with living your lifestyle, growing and budget, you got investing, letting your all of that, got all of that. But they don't understand, if you're going to maneuver on this planet the way this stuff is set up, you have to be involved in the political process. You just got to. Everything is governed by it. Everything on the planet Earth is ran by it.
You spoke it right there, buddy.
I yield back and let it breathe.
well,
And let
let
me
me
add
say this
this.
here. I did. Oh, okay, go ahead on. Let me say this
Keep him.
before I go, because I gotta go. And
Okay.
in regards to what he just stated, I did, and I think I told Derek. I know I shared it with Derek. I did speak with someone here, but I didn't want to go any deeper until I knew that we were on board as a unit, because I don't want this person to stick there. I know how our people operate. I don't want this person to go, this white man to stick his neck out for us and we go running and hiding. Because this man is serious about the business that he's doing. He's doing this because he not only just know of me, he know me, my family, and other people within my family. So he's willing to do what he has to do, but we got to be willing to do our part.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Big Bad, man, talk to me, brother. I
That
mean,
brother Sir Miguel got something to say.
oh, he do? Oh yeah, he's been expounding. My bad, bro. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say this. See how quick the decision came out, right? It was already written up, because keep in mind, the law clerks is the ones that write the stuff for the judges. They just add their little piece into it. You know what I mean? So the judges ain't really doing much of anything. And think about this. Why is it that certain stuff is heard and certain stuff is not heard? Why is it that when a lawyer is fighting for their client, and even though they did write a brief or whatever it is, they only get 10 minutes? Ask yourself that question: who came up with that shit?
Right.
But Sir Miguel, that's what I've always stated to you. That's why when I got the kickback from our people on this side, I said, why can't we just abolish all the freaking laws and let us come in at the table and help you write these laws? Because these laws was written against us. They wasn't written for us.
Absolutely correct. But at the end of the day, even in the beginning, when it was written by those who said, all men were created equal, they were doing it for themselves for future generations. So when they fuck up, they can use it to their advantage because they wrote it, they understood it. It's their penmanship. But then you got the people that's in Congress that's fighting against each other within their own base. So you got to weed them people out of it too.
Bingo.
That's true.
Bingo.
There's so much infighting that nothing is really getting done. Let's be honest. There's so much infighting in Congress. Congress controls everything, including the president.
That's right. That's right.
Mm.
That's right. Yeah.
And anytime something's getting written, do you know it costs them $1,500 just to change one word?
Mm-hmm. I said this earlier, and it might seem really small, Brother Miguel. It might seem really small and totally irrelevant, but please feel the heart behind what I'm about to say again. When a person's heart, when the intent of their soul is not in alignment with justice and goodness, principles and standards, and you understand you have been given a opportunity, prestigious, powerful position to govern and lead, to serve. When you lose sight of that in those type of positions is what I referenced, and here my plug go again, forgive me, in the last 24-hour life, my nephew Big Rye with the judge in New York. When you appointed with a prestigious position like that, for the sake of the bench, you should have went through every accusation. But because of who appointed you and dumped money in your campaign to get you on that seat for that political agenda, why am I looking at something? I already been told what to do. And I'm going to keep doing that because I want this seat and how this is going to elevate me.
Yeah.
So that's why I can honor, and it's a breath of fresh air when I hear the name Jennifer Bonjean. I yield back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think we've
I,
been a minute.
And let me
Go ahead.
let me say one last thing before I go, and I'll let Bill. If you think about what Brother Muse just said, even evil has a purpose. You just have to understand why the purpose is there. Good has a purpose. You have to understand why it's there. The very same people that sit in those seats up there, some people are there to do an evil purpose, but it looks good.
Yeah. Thank you.
It don't take a rocket scientist to say, you know what, we got a lot of homeless people out here.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to create a law to remove homeless people off the street? Somebody is benefiting from them being homeless.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different. So until you get in the tea leaves and you really get to the root of it, good and evil sits in Congress just like anything else. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yep. Bless you.
You cooking with hot fish grease tonight.
Bless you, Brother McGee. Thank you, Professor.
I'm just saying, hey, I ain't really had to say too much. I appreciate it, man, because y'all cooking. So it's interesting, man, when you get into this victimization thing and false victims and false claims and stuff like that. And since it's Friday night, SmackDown about to go off in about 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and talk about the man who invented it real quick. And we finna show you how wild, once again, these ladies can be, man, because they wild. And they be wild. They be wild. And so yesterday I came across this after the live. This posted after the live, and I wish I had while we was doing the live and doing the Neo thing. But we got to get into this because it's real deal, man. When you get to talking about victims and fake victims, man, we can smoke their asses out, man. I'm telling you, they're getting smoked out. And so we need to go ahead and listen to this motion to compel.
Months after an ex-WWE employee filed a bombshell lawsuit against him, Vince McMahon is firing back with allegations of his own. We are breaking down what's in his motion to compel arbitration. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Hey everybody, this is a law and crime legal alert. Google Incognito tracked users' browsing data without their knowledge. And Mass Tort Alliance, one of our legal sponsors, is helping users file for compensation.
All right,
browsers.
whatever,
So
bro.
if you've used Google,
Let's get about this.
you can start your at the beginning of this year. Vince McMahon, the founder of the World Wrestling Federation, which became known as World Wrestling Entertainment, was slapped with a huge 67-page lawsuit. And we covered it a lot here on Sidebar. And in it, a former employee, Janelle Grant, accused him of absolutely horrific behavior. And we will now tell you what Vince McMahon's response is. But before we do that, here's some background. So Grant was a former staffer in WWE's legal and talent departments. She filed the lawsuit in U.S. District Court against WWE, Vince McMahon, and a man named John Laurinaitis, a retired wrestler and head of the talent relations department for WWE. Now, the suit was filed in Connecticut, since that's where WWE's headquarters is. And according to her lawsuit, Grant met McMahon in 2019 when they lived in the same condo building. Grant's attorneys say that she had been the full-time caregiver for her parents, who both died, and the family home was lost in their bankruptcy. Complaint explained how she was in a really low place. Remember,
Hey, Big Vi, that low place again. Here we are, these low places.
Them low places, man. Do some strange for a little piece of change.
I got friends in low places. Yeah, that's you, boo-boo.
Remember that. We'll get back to that. Well, after being introduced to McMahon, he essentially befriended her, showed her a lot of attention, and allegedly offered Grant a role with WWE, although what the role would be wasn't entirely clear at the time. And that seems to be something that McMahon allegedly took advantage of, because Grant says that she was coerced into a sexual relationship with McMahon in exchange for this new role at WWE. It was called administrative
Derek.
in the legal department.
What up?
Does coerced into a relationship, is that forced?
No. I'm trying to coerce somebody into a relationship right now. What you mean?
Is coerced forced?
Oh my goodness.
That means he was shooting his shot, and you had a choice to either say yes or no.
Right on, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's keep it moving because it gets good.
Department. And while she started there, McMahon transferred her to the talent relations department, headed up again by John Laurinaitis. Despite Grant's alleged pleas to end this essentially quid pro quo sexual relationship, it did not. And according to Grant, it only got worse. She claimed that McMahon shared sexually explicit photos and videos of her with practically everyone: TV production teams, executives, producers, and even a WWE star who wasn't named in the suit. As an example of what she claimed she was subjected to, the lawsuit says that on May 9th, 2020, McMahon defecated on Grant's head during a threesome and commanded her to continue the sexual encounter with the third person, referred to as McMahon's friend.
Man. Okay. All of this shit. What's going on with the I got shit on? I'm really getting tired of this shit. Seriously. I mean, because okay, he crapped on you, and I mean, if I was the dude or whoever, I'd be like, man, we can't do this no more. Whoever
Yeah,
the
man, we sitting
we
here doing our thing, and I look
smelling
up, you
shit,
taking the shit. Man, what the fuck wrong with
smelling
you?
shit. You got me messed up
Man, look here, man, bro.
out in the open, a hot steamer, and you won't sit up here and tell me that people can handle that smell and keep going? Stop, man, with the lies, man, and the foolishness. But we're going to keep moving, man. We got to get through this.
She later learned that that third person was McMahon's physical therapist. Another allegation is that McMahon and Laurinaitis had sexual contact with her in an office at WWE headquarters, despite begging them to stop. But they each allegedly held her down as the assaults happened. And they allegedly said to her, no means yes. She sued under a number of legal.
That sounds like some bullshit. Really?
As if shitting on your head wasn't enough, you went back for more.
You clock back into the gig, man. You like, okay, I'm in a low place. I need to go to work.
Hey, what Mike Epps told them old women all about the Benjamin. Y'all did a good job, but y'all put a little bit too much on it that time.
Man, look. I mean, that you was in a low place, so I know getting crapped on put you in a lower place. That's crazy. Man, Jericho at a cookout, he said he had a backyard party.
Chill, what your auntie them at, man? Shit. Tell a big fire on the way.
You might want to put this on Bluetooth. I know it's going down over there. That man, I need to be at a cookout right now, but we cooking over here, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Let's keep it moving because we got some legal stuff that's gonna pop off, and this motion to compel is retarded. I'm telling you.
Theories, violation of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, negligence, battery, intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress. And she was also asking for the court to invalidate an NDA that she signed.
You see that? That these NDAs, man, they be trying to get rid of them, man. It's crazy to me. You can sign some paperwork and I did it under duress. Watch.
That in mind. Through his own attorney, Laurinaitis denied the allegations, which his counsel called, quote, a misguided complaint. In January of 2022, McMahon told Grant that his wife had found out about their sexual relationship. He said her time at WWE was at an end, but insisted she sign a non-disclosure agreement. The lawsuit claims that multiple high-ranking employees at WWE knew.
And truth be told, he probably did that. He didn't want his wife to know. Shit. Come on now. It's not necessarily just because they don't want to catch no damn case. You don't want your wife that you've been with for 50 years to find this shit out. So yeah, I get the NDA. I ain't even tripping off of that because I know that it's not. It can be multiple reasons for that. So
knew about the sexual relationship as well as assaults allegedly committed on Grant at the offices, but they did nothing to stop it. So that was back in January. Now, at the time this lawsuit came out, he denied the allegations, but he still resigned from WWE's new parent company, TKO Group Holdings. He said he did it out of respect for the WWE universe. In a statement at the time, McMahon said, quote, Miss Grant's lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene, made-up instances that never occurred, and is a vindictive distortion of the truth. I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name. Well, we finally have an update on that vigorous defense. In response to Grant's civil action, McMahon's team has filed a memorandum of law in support of his motion to compel arbitration. The preliminary statement section of this.
We're gonna have to stop this. I'm talking about a few times messing around with her. Just pay attention, fellas. It's gonna get crazy.
Immediately goes after Grant. It says, quote, by publicly filing her salacious, false, and defamatory complaint, plaintiff has brazenly and intentionally violated a binding contract to arbitrate. Don't forget that, because that's key. It goes on to say, the complaint's outrageous claims of sexual abuse and coercion are pure fiction, plainly intended to garner publicity, and are flatly contradicted by plaintiff's own contemporaneous statements. Contrary to plaintiff's false allegations, plaintiff and defendant engaged in a consensual relationship during which defendant never coerced plaintiff into doing anything and never mistreated her in any way. In fact, in a love letter, plaintiff wrote to defendant shortly before the parties ended their relationship. Plaintiff described defendant as my best friend, my love, and my everything, praising him for being the, quote, wonderful, tender, vulnerable, heart on your sleeve soul you really are.
Okay. Letters. What you think that she's going to say about this letter, Big Guy? I mean, just in your inclination and your thought process.
He forced her to write it. He paid her to write it. She ain't had no choice but to write it.
I mean, well, you know, we let's see what she say.
It then goes on to state, quote, it is incredulous that plaintiff, a then 42-year-old woman who claims on her resume to have a law degree from Pace University, would have written these words to defendant months after all the events in the complaint of alleged abuse, coercion, and sex trafficking took place. Was that a dig, by the way? Claims to have a law degree from Pace?
Now, I say she claimed to, but she acting crazy, playing the hell out of crazy. That's something else, man. That's deep. We got Muse back. He cut out all the fun saying, but yeah, we gonna keep it moving, man, because this is ridiculous.
At the time that this alleged love letter was revealed, Grant's attorney reversed the narrative. Grant's attorney said that her client had been forced into writing it.
Bingo! There we go. The forced letter. Forced that man. That man forced her to write letters and made her write them just to make sure that I guess that he had letters for some damn stupid ass reason. I don't know, man. This shit's stupid.
That the letter was sent via email to McMahon on Christmas Eve of 2019. Well, McMahon's team says the idea that he coerced her into this is ridiculous. So a spokesperson provided a photo of an alleged text conversation between McMahon and Grant to the New York Post from the 21st, just a few days before the email was sent. And
them damn text messages. Check it out.
In the screenshot, Grant allegedly sent McMahon a photo of her index finger in a bandage, and she says she just had surgery, and McMahon allegedly responds, damn it, sorry, baby, with 2 heart emojis. Grant then apparently replies, how will I write your letter? I can type and read it or try to write in a couple of days. I'm so sorry if I mess this up. I want you to have a nice letter.
All right, so how the fuck we know just because it said Vince up top that it was Vince? You can put a name on any damn thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. It's really kind of crazy that this is the script, man.
That's really interesting because if I were her lawyer, Grant's lawyer, I could make the argument that that language of that message still could be that she was forced to write him the letter and didn't want to mess it up for him and wanted him to have a nice letter. And let me just say this for a quick second. Let me take a moment to...
DV, what's up, baby?
Assuming she wasn't coerced into writing the letter, the love letter would definitely be helpful to McMahon's claims that there was no abuse here. However, as we have noted in previous cases, sometimes victims of sexual assault, they stay in touch with their abusers. They express their love to their abusers. They do not speak out. They do not go to authorities. We have a greater
Bullshit. In my view, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Say this real quick, then I step my mouth. This is the thing that really gets me mad. That's irritating when I see this. Journalism is not real journalism anymore. Like back in the day, it's gone. It's out the window. Denzel spoke on something related to that because you're supposed to be right down the middle. You're supposed to be unbiased. You know what I mean? You see the way this, just like Gayle King, he ain't no different from Gayle King and all the rest of them.
Well, for him, I'm gonna get. You know what? He offered an opinion, so I give him credit for that. Now
sidebar good. You got to see him. He had the lady that was over the Kel's trial. He had her on there, and he asked her some good ass questions. He asked her about about the process of coming out the Kells and how they came out to did it different shit. So he kind of he be like the devil advocate with the prosecutors.
Yeah, so it's basically for me. I see him asking them tough questions,
Yeah,
or
he do
just
actually some stuff.
giving the yin and the yang, because you got to, in order for you to even get to the point of understanding, you got to think of both sides. You got to consider both sides, and that's how I came to mind, because when I listen to what they're saying, listen to what they ain't saying, I'm just floored by the fact that a judge, lawyer, and jurors can listen to the same shit or different versions of it and come up with a whole different understanding. It boggles my mind. It really does. Kilroy Girl, what's going on? DV Wild, what's going on? V White, what's going on? My man Jericho out here, cookouts and shit. I need a rib, you know what I'm saying? I need some chicken. And if y'all got some corn on there, I'm gonna need a little bit of that too. You feel me? I need that in my life. That's I need
Hopefully they got 6 legs. So hopefully they got 6 leg quarters on the grill.
I'm telling you, big old fat ones too, boy. All right, let's keep it moving.
Understanding of the psychology of sexual trauma today than we did in the past. And that has been proven vital for both plaintiffs' claims in a lawsuit and prosecutors' cases in criminal trials. In other words, just because a letter like this exists doesn't necessarily mean that what Grant says happened didn't happen. And also remember, this is a civil case. The burden of proof on her part to prove this happened is lower than a criminal trial. But having said that, got it.
Shit. It's about the same as a criminal trial. That's the sad part about it. It's about the same. It's all hogwash. So, just keep it going. We're gonna keep it moving.
Get this. According to Grant's rep, who went unnamed in a New York Post article, Grant had written so many love letters to McMahon at his request that allegedly she started lifting lines about love from articles online. For example, the outlet matched up 2 sentences, almost word for word, that seemed to be taken from a GQ article about Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly from a couple months earlier. Now, the court filing continues, where again, McMahon casts doubt not only on Grant's claims of abuse, but even some basic preliminary information. Listen to this. It says, quote, at the time the parties met in 2019, plaintiff was not dealing with profound grief from her parents' deaths and struggling financially as described in her complaint, and she had not been devoting years to around-the-clock caregiving of her parents. Those statements are complete falsehoods. Based on a foreclosure action against plaintiff and her parents, plaintiff's father passed away on April 18th, 2017, 2 years before plaintiff met defendant, and his marital status was recorded as widowed, confirming plaintiff's mother had passed earlier. Court records further show that contrary to her claim of around-the-clock caregiving, plaintiff's father lived in a senior care home in Stamford, Connecticut before he passed away, not with her. And the Grant's neighbor would bring plaintiff's mother dinner and help around the house before she passed.
Damn! You done lied on your parents. That's crazy. She literally sat here and lied on her dead parents. I done took care of my parents. I'm in a low place because my parents is gone. All of this craziness, man. Why do you lie like this? You can, oh my goodness, that's so sad.
Wow. So those are significant pieces of background information about Grant that McMahon's team says are just not true. That's not a good look for Grant's lawsuit if it contains these types of inaccuracies. But again, this is an allegation put forward by McMahon. But the McMahon response continues, and it also reveals that Grant was not only dating someone else at the time that she met McMahon, but the two were engaged. Quote, in addition to falsehoods about her own background, plaintiff's complaint is further riddled with fabrications and omissions about her relationship with defendant. During the parties' consensual relationship, plaintiff and defendant knew that the other was also involved in other romantic relationships. Plaintiff was living in Park Tower, a luxury multi-million-dollar building in Stamford.
Luxury, but you in a low place. You're living in the lap of luxury. See, that's what people don't even realize. She wasn't living with this man. She wasn't down on her luck. She living in a deluxe apartment in the sky. You got to be kidding me, man. But yet you struggling out here. Man, oh man. Come on with it, lawyer.
Stamford, Connecticut, with her longtime fiance, attorney Brian Gonsalves. Plaintiff and Gonsalves lived in the same luxury building as defendant, just 4 floors below, when the parties began their affair in 2019. Plaintiff would often visit defendant at his condominium at all hours, including at 2:30 a.m., to pursue their affair, and then return back to her condominium with Gonsalves the same night.
Just nasty. You see that? She going upstairs to knock Vince down, and then oh my God, and then going back home to your fiance, man. But you abuse, but you going to the abuse, and on top of all that, you got to do. So if somebody was messing with you, you can't even tell your dude. Oh my God. It's crazy. This is wild, bro. We're going to keep it moving.
Now, you might be saying, well, that doesn't mean the abuse didn't happen. Listen carefully to this. Quote, "It is nonsensical that the disturbing alleged acts in the complaint, including violence, coerced sex, and forcing plaintiff to be defecated on, were taking place before plaintiff returned to her lawyer fiance 4 floors below without incident." So,
yeah, you come in here, man. What the fuck is that smell? You come in the crib smelling like a turd. What happened? Y'all slipped and fell in some dog shit or something outside. What was you even doing outside? That man, big vibe, man. Muse, man. Somebody please talk black to me on this one, or just say something, because this shit right here, that part boggles my mind. You say you got shit on, but you, oh my goodness. All right, man, we keep it moving.
It ain't making no sense.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, it's not making any sense when you just, anybody with common sense listening to this shit, it seems like, you know, I mean, the allegations are so far fetched to, like, how could someone listening to this even consider, like, damn, is this shit real?
But they didn't call this man a monster. They didn't say everything they could possibly say about old Vince in this situation. They always hit you with the monster. You know, you monster, and just want to throw you away based off.
Then how she taking care of her parents when her parents done died?
They been dead.
They dead before I thought it was because she lost her parents, she needed a job.
But the thing about it is, you in a deluxe apartment with your lawyer dude. You ain't struggling. You ain't wanting for nothing.
But you met a guy that lived in the building with y'all that knew somewhere where you can go get a job at, though.
How many? She was probably knocking him off.
Hey, what was that song that Brother Kelly did when he did the line? I wonder if I wasn't iced up with a Bentley in the house. Was it the I Wish video?
I wish, yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Seems like, man, you know, I know it's almost
fake ass niggas get fake ass digits.
right. Right. You got my point. That's all I'm hearing. And then I ended with this and yield back. Biggie Small. What Big say? More money, more problems.
Boy.
You know what I mean? From the other side, you know, not just for, you know, I always thought it was just, well, you know, you the target with, you know, it's both ways. The men target and the women. Just, you know, the hate, the jealousy, the finessing, the trying to come on a lick. You know, man, you know what Avenatti said. Man, trying to get the golden man, the golden goose was easy. Like, wow, man. But when you were nobody, when you were somebody who ain't really got no, you know, no scribbles, no nothing, it's the best piece in your life. You just want to make a better life for you and your children, your lineage, man. And it's like, wow, everybody want a piece, bro. Everybody want a title. And if you say hello to this female, if you hug her, she's in a party and get out. Oh, he did such and such. You want it back. You ain't even been in the room along with me. And now I gotta settle out of just because I don't. Man, you can have it, bro. You can have that.
We never settle around here. I'm taking that shit to trial.
You can have that life. You can have that life.
Damn money. You ain't finna take my money without a fight. I'm not. I'm gonna fight you every step of the way, tooth and nail.
You right. You hear what I'm saying, nephew?
Yeah, you know,
I'm
big guy
with you,
on
man.
the.
I'm with
I'm
you,
fighting
man.
tooth and nail. You
Yeah,
ain't getting none of my
did you
dough.
get that? Did you see that paperwork? That shit that they put in with for why they denied the shit.
Man, do you get it? Do you get it? Can you share it?
It's on is your Instagram
Man, I just got a whole new phone. I ain't said none of that shit up yet.
damn, I would have to go on my laptop and do if I was to do it, I had to go on my laptop and then do it. But yeah, but I'm as I'm listening to the audio what you going through and I'm reading over these documents. How the hell are they talking about Brittany and Brittany never even showed up to goddamn court?
Buddy.
See, there you go. There you go.
And they're gonna use that when they do this again because they're gonna appeal it again.
Yeah, I mean, they talking about a relationship he had with Sparkle. What they got to do with what he went to trial for?
Right. In that order. So let's keep on dealing with this raggediness with this lady.
Gonsalves would have seen it. It goes on to state, quote, defendant was never contacted by Gonsalves, who was on the board of the luxury building, anyone at the building, the police, any friends of the plaintiff, or any lawyer or advocate for plaintiff at any time about the fictitious, extensive, years-long abusive behavior alleged in the complaint. Now, on the one hand, I could see what they mean here. On the other hand, if Grant was keeping this all a huge secret, as she alleges, then maybe it is plausible that no one ever contacted McMahon. It's reasonable that didn't happen. Now, this is where things start to get really interesting. And the reason for this motion. McMahon's team says, whoa. You're supposed to talk about any issues, any concerns you have with him in private during arbitration, not filing a lawsuit in district court. That's the whole point of this. The filing states, after 3 years and having decided to return to their partners in January 2022, plaintiff and defendant agreed to end their consensual affair and separate from each other.
So Vince wasn't even living at the crib. So his shit was on the rocks. That's what I'm gathering from that statement up top after 3 years of having decided to return to their partners. So Vince and Linda wasn't even kicking it around that time. So in January of 2022, plaintiff and defendant agreed to end their consensual affairs and separate with each other. Plaintiff leaving the company. So she left on her own. She claims she was fired, from what he's saying, allegedly.
With plaintiff leaving the company where they worked, World Wrestling Entertainment, Inc. Plaintiff and defendant entered into a binding contract to memorialize that agreement entitled Confidential Settlement Agreement, General Release, and Covenant Not to Sue. Plaintiff initially wanted to include a term in the contract mandating that defendant could not move out of their shared building, but defendant refused to include that term and did move out.
That sounds like some crazy lady shit. She didn't want him to leave, and he left anyway. So we getting into her upset now.
McMahon can show that. That's a very big win for him. It goes on to state, plaintiff's contention that their contract between defendant and WWE on the one hand and plaintiff on the other is not enforceable is utterly meritless, but that is an issue for the arbitrator. McMahon writes, in fact, because the parties wish to preserve the confidential and private nature of any disputes under the agreement, they specifically provided in the agreement that disputes would be resolved through arbitration. Plaintiff was represented by a lawyer who negotiated the agreement for her before she executed it. So we have confirmed that the agreement referred to here is what Grant's lawsuit refers to as the NDA. The suit claims that the NDA signed by Miss Grant, McMahon, and WWE was entered into through coercive tactics, and it is legally unenforceable pursuant to federal statute and common law. Exhibit A attached here too is a true and accurate copy of the NDA. It goes on to...
So your lawyer was there when you signed the NDA. Yeah, you claim that it was under duress. That's crazy because if your lawyer was there, she should have been like, don't sign that shit. It's some bullshit. I mean, this you can't make none of this shit up. These people just say, fuck the law, fuck everything, and we're gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah, yeah. Now you want to renege. Things don't go your way. Now, man, listen.
Man, because there's bread involved. Wait a minute. Pay attention.
Say that Miss Grant was moreover coerced into signing the NDA merely 8 days after she first spoke to an attorney who McMahon initially approved of and then cautioned Miss Grant against trusting before she was railroaded into rejecting all of her own attorney's comments. This occurred because of relentless pressure, including implicit and explicit threats by McMahon. So,
oh yeah, they got to throw in the fact that he was threatening and shit. They got to
So
say,
that's how you get around the NDA. See, that's how you get around that. When you want to renege, when you in your feelings and something didn't go a certain way, how you want the outcome to be.
That's been
That's
so.
how you get
Just like with a civil case,
there
if
you,
it's any criminal context in the NDA, you can avoid it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost, you can say, well, I
right.
signed
Basically,
it under
the moment you accuse this person of a crime, they say the NDA is invalid.
mm-hmm.
So
I was
all
under
you got to do
I was under duress when I signed it, so it's none and void.
is nothing. So
See,
you
and
can
they
write.
can use as case law. That can be that's dangerous, man. All I'm hearing from this individual, you know what I mean, is what allegedly appears to what I'm hearing is no accountability. And we're
Not
gonna
at
get
all.
around as much as possible. No matter what I said, what I did, what I agreed to, it don't matter. You sit there and kill, man, please, bro. Man,
Say, quick shout out, man, to you know what I'm saying, to my girl here, Kilroy girl and stuff. She about to hit her third back surgery here. I didn't even know about the first two. You know what I'm saying? Keep her in your thoughts and prayers as she go through what she's going through. And we gonna wish health and speedy recovery whenever that goes down. And you let us know so we can show you mad love, okay? Just let us know when you're going in, okay? And we're gonna make sure that we shout you down. We're gonna keep you prayed up, and we're gonna make sure that you all right. Okay, in Jesus' name. Okay. So on that note, let's keep it moving.
Grant argued that the contract should be invalidated because it violates federal law preventing contracts that permit sexual assault or harassment. And she also argued that the agreement was too broad and that it was signed under duress. Well, let's go back to this new motion from McMahon. Quote, when defendant learned that plaintiff, despite her promises, had violated the agreement by wrongfully disclosing both the existence of the agreement and their relationship, he exercised his contractual right to withhold payment otherwise owed under the agreement. In response, plaintiff sought to harm him. She intentionally violated the enforceable contract with her salacious, false, and defamatory public filing. However, the FAA and binding United States Supreme Court precedent and plaintiff's own agreement require that if plaintiff wishes to proceed with her fictitious claim, she must do so in arbitration, not in this court, and that this action should be stayed pending arbitration. Stayed means a pause, that the lawsuit would be paused while they go through the arbitration process. By the way, arbitration clauses are written into contracts because arbitration is a preferred method of resolving disputes than going to court. It saves time, it saves money. You usually see a faster resolution. But McMahon continues in his filing. For the avoidance of doubt, defendant vehemently and categorically denies all allegations of wrongdoing in the complaint, including plaintiff's outrageous claims that defendant coerced plaintiff into unwanted sexual acts, sexually assaulted and or battered her, trafficked her, and defecated on her. Those are false statements intended for publicity. The allegations and claims will be disproven, and plaintiff will be exposed for the liar she is.
I hope so.
Wow. So that is just part of the preliminary statement to kick off the 29-page filing. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything, but
I bet you that shit crazy. I need a Pacer account. Man, I bet you that shit ridiculous. But on the surface, as we went through it back in January on a Friday night on a live, this is exactly the play. All you got to do is accuse person of the crime, especially when they stop paying you the bread, and then you can bypass a non-disclosure. You can literally bypass it, and we just got to do better as men. I keep on saying this all the time. Men, period, need to do better, man. He didn't know this heifer was nuts. I don't know.
No, man. I'm not gonna. I'm respectfully going to disagree with that, brother Provo. This is a human problem.
Yeah.
Not a man, not a woman problem. This is a human problem. No matter what your ethnicity is, you know what I mean. If whatever the person's belief system is, not even going to dive into that. But if you don't have that type of walk that governs you, and you with no entire integrity, it don't care if you red, purple, green, or it don't matter. It's a human thing. All have sinned and fallen short of God's glory. No human being is exempt on this planet Earth.
Right, we all sinners, but we
So if a person mad ain't and they hard and they ain't tuning that, you capable of anything, man. No matter who you are. That's on the inside, not on the outside.
When I ask God for forgiveness, I ask for the things that I don't even know I did.
Right.
Because sometimes you be sinning, you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know. So in order for you to cover everything, look for the things that I know I did and the things that I don't know. Because sometimes we think we walking around righteous and we out here tearing it up. You know, being judgmental, being envious, jealousy, coveting, sloth, being lazy and shit, all of these things.
Yeah, God don't hold us for nothing that we're ignorant to. If we're ignorant and we don't know and we're not aware of that, God doesn't hold that against us, but wants us to come into aware of that. And once we are, now we have the human free will and the power of choice to decide, okay, I want to move in this direction toward goodness, or I want to lead a carefree life, whatever it's going to lead. You have a human, free will and choice to do that. But God does not hold no individual accountable for something that you honestly and genuinely are not aware of and don't know. You know what I mean? But once you are made aware of that, then you're accountable like that. You know what I mean? Like he told Pharisees, they said, since you say you see, because they thought they were so above everything, the religious leader in Christ's day, and they ain't gonna get into all of that. You said, okay, your sin remains then. But you know what I mean? But when you was ignorant, it didn't hold it against you. You know what I mean? So I think we got to keep that in mind. And at the same time, people are still, that's consequences and repercussions for your behavior and your decisions you make. And that's why they have laws in place. And like Jennifer Brundin said, but it should be fair, it should be balanced. The law should not break the law and finesse and use it at will. That is just wrong. And we have a right as citizens in this country to stand up and say that's wrong. And we're going to address our concerns about that. You know what I mean?
So you must remember your spirit in all of this. You got to. So when it comes to this, man, we literally can see and pick apart all of these things. Now, based on emotion to compel, that's why the system is the system. Now, I know that the system 9 shifts out of 10 is about to work for Vince McMahon a whole lot better than it worked for R. Kelly. And I tell you, I know why. You know what I'm saying? This because of the hue and who. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna go through these treacherous trials, I don't believe. And if he does, that means that he's totally anti-establishment. He did something to piss these people off for real. So when we get to talk about trials, we know good and damn well that Trump is out here doing this thing in New York, campaigning and handling his business and kicking ass, you know what I'm saying, and taking names, like a good president should, So what I want to do is I want to give y'all a little something, a few little things, before we raise up out of here, as far as what's going on with another case that's being brought unjustly and everything. But we're going to hear from our president who says that he will debate Joe Biden's goofball ass anytime he wants to get his dumb ass up and debate. So let's go ahead and look at that real quick.
So thank you very much. This is 8 days that we've all been sitting in this courthouse. This is all a Biden indictment. It's in order to try and win an election, political opponent. I just want to say that I've invited Biden to debate. He can do it anytime he wants, including tonight. I'm ready. Here we are. I invited him to the courthouse that he has us tied up in. His administration. This is all being done through Washington. It's all a well-coordinated attack on a political opponent. But I'm here. I'm ready, willing, and able. And if he wants, I'll do it on Monday night, Tuesday night, or Wednesday night. We'll be in Michigan. We're ready. Just tell me where. We'll do it at the White House. That would be very comfortable, actually. So you tell me where. But we're ready. He's obviously not showing up now. We heard nothing. But he said today that, I'd love to debate, but he won't debate. I don't think he'll debate. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. I'm not sure he has a choice.
Old punk. Joe Biden, punk. He don't want none of that smoke. You know what I'm saying? Literally, this man is challenging him like, hey, come out and fight. Let's do this. And the man refuses to debate. Apparently, Howard Stern had him on his channel, and the dude said that he's willing to. I don't believe that at all. So we're going to go ahead and listen to see what the hell he said on Howard Stern, because from what I gather, people say it was a great interview, so they gave Joe Biden a little bit more cocaine to move this thing along. That's what happened. Let's go ahead and take a look.
So talk about a shock. President Biden on the radio in a surprise interview with Howard Stern. But that's not the only surprise. The president now says he's open to debating his opponent, Donald Trump. Biden didn't confirm when. He just said to Howard Stern, I'm happy to debate him. It's the first time Biden has said that he will debate the former president in this election cycle. And it comes after 12 news organizations are urging both presidential nominees to do it. Former President Trump moments ago pouring cold water on the idea, though, that Biden will actually debate him, saying he doesn't really mean it. All right. So what's the truth? Let's go to our senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang, for more. So, Selena, first.
Hey, I believe you don't really mean it. He's just talking. He don't want none of that smoke, because we're going to hit you with the border crisis. We're going to slap you with the Ukraine crisis. We're going to slap you with everything, the economy, the gas price, food prices. You are destroying this country. I want Trump to call you 1,000 stupid idiots, bro.
Trump called his name and he responded. So, it's gonna be good for TV. I mean, people gonna tune in.
I'm talking about one of the most watched debates in American history. I predict that everybody, I ain't gonna be doing shit but watching that debate and streaming that shit on here. Trust and believe me, that's what's going to happen. Because ain't no way in the hell that dude want no smoke from Trump. For real. Ain't no way. Let's see what these ladies got to talk about.
First of all, what do we make of Biden's surprise confirmation here that he would debate Trump?
Yeah, Kara, well, I will say I was just on the phone with the Biden campaign, and they are not weighing in one way or another on whether or not this was a confirmation that he would debate Trump. But this was a more direct answer, as the Biden team, they've been sort of dodging this question for the past few months. And I just want to read to you specifically what the president's response was. One radio host, Howard Stern, asked him if you'd debate Trump. He said, quote, I am somewhere. I don't know when, but I am happy to debate him. Now, before those new comments we had from Trump, the Trump campaign jumped in saying, okay, let's set this up. And as you say, this comes after we've had.
I mean, for real, let's do it then. Let's do this. If you about what you say you about, and you got no problem, he just called you out because you see now if you don't, I think that the people who support you need to look at this, Crooked Joe. If you're not willing to debate this man, they need to look at you. Because you don't have a policy or a leg to stand on. You are spending our money in Ukraine, and you can't even tell us why. That's not our border. Our border is in Texas and in California, and anything that touches Mexico, you need to protect that. Our border is not Ukraine. We can't be sitting up here dealing with what ifs when we already see what's happening. What if Russia? What if Russia this? What if no? We getting invaded right now. It's to a point of ridiculousness, and you such a old, feeble, controlled individual that's not what they want. That you can't handle a debate because there will be no teleprompter, sir. And you can't even handle a teleprompter. You literally read the actions. When you said 4 more years, pause, where you were supposed to pause so the crowd could chant 4 more years, you actually said pause. You're horrible. You don't have a thought that you come up with in a speech or a campaign or a debate that's your own thought. Somebody has to write this stuff down for you in order for you to say it because you don't know what to say. You can't. You're out of touch. You don't buy gas. You don't buy your own food. You don't do anything for yourself. You don't put on your own socks or your pamper on your own. Trash. You are not going to win a debate with Trump. It'll be the worst thing that you ever did for yourself, and I hope you do it.
Pressure from the Trump team to hold this debate, even though Trump did not participate in any of the primary presidential debates.
That ain't got nothing to do with it. He still won. He still won. So it doesn't matter that he didn't participate. Goofy lady.
Debates, and this also comes on top of pressure from TV organizations to hold this debate. So again, no confirmation one way or another from the Biden campaign, but they are referring and just reemphasizing that the president's comments speak for themselves.
Didn't it surprise you that he did Howard Stern, a shock jock of all the journalists, all the radio shows, all the interviews he could have done, and he kept it a secret. It wasn't even on the.
He didn't even know he was going to do Howard Stern. He ain't keep no secret. He like, who is this and why am I here? Okay, let's talk about it. Snort this cocaine. You be all right. And that's what they did. They pushed him out in front of them cameras. Okay.
Official itinerary. What was the deal with that?
Well, Kira, the Biden campaign, they're not explaining why they made that decision, but we have seen that this president has been somewhat skeptical of traditional media. And we have seen the president.
What? He's skeptical? Nah. We skeptical. Everybody over here is skeptical. Come on now,
give interviews to media personalities and to more untraditional media outlets, believing that the current media landscape is more fractured, so that they need to take other approaches to reach the voters that they want to reach. But again, they're not explaining why.
Hey, why don't you come on down to Provoke Thoughts then, Joe, if you don't trust the media? Try to convince me. Try to convince Provoke Thoughts that you have been a good president for me when I know that Joe Biden ruined my life. Try to get me. Tell me I ain't black if I don't vote for you.
Let me say this, and I'm going to yield. I got to yield on get out here, Derek.
Okay, no problem, man.
What does that say about the forces that surround the president? That's always where the real power lies.
Absolutely. He has a cabinet, and he has bureaucrats, and he has glad-handed yes men.
You know what I mean? That any president. That's for any president. So that's where I think our attention should be more so when we put our vote in, when we do what we do as far as that political party. We need to focus on those individuals that surround the president, the ones that's on the floor, that's, turning down the bill, or got the bill on the table, holding up a bill. You know what I mean? These are individuals that affect your everyday life and your retirement and all this sort of thing. You know what I mean? And the second thing, and I get on out of here, the way this lady is talking and these other ones talking stuff, this is what Tupac meant, that there should be classes on this type of stuff. So you can understand, kids can learn and grow and understand about the real America that they're going to be affected by later on, that they're going to be living in. But there's classes on gym or, German. When is the kid ever going to Germany and learn German? You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
These are the things that they should have in the curriculum. But see, that type of talk will get you taken out of here. They don't want that. I yield back. That'll be it, man.
Absolutely,
Appreciate it, man. I'm going to ease on out of here.
Hey, Muse, I appreciate you, bro, and I appreciate you every time you come on, man. You give us some good old food. So keep it coming. You know I'm gonna keep it coming. So let's do this, man. I appreciate you. You know I love you, man.
Yes, sir. Same here, bro. Hey, nephew still in there?
Yeah, he's still holding on.
All right. I'm gonna get on back, nephew. Bless you. We'll holler. Best to everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said, all right, man, you know what it is. Be smooth, man. Stay vigilant. You already know.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
You gotta
All right,
go
y'all.
to your spot tonight to work.
No. We finna shift gears, but no, I ain't gotta go in the plantation.
Oh man, good deal, man.
Nah, I know you at the little bar, bro. What it is? The one little spot.
Oh no. We chilling tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, we chilling.
Hanging at the house, getting, you know what I'm saying?
Get some things in order and take care of some stuff, man. Everything is all messed up here, man. So I gotta get some stuff in order.
Right, absolutely, man. Well, like
All
I said,
right.
I appreciate you, man. We gonna get up out of here in a few. I'm just running this information real quick, and like I said, I appreciate you much, man.
All right, blessings everybody.
Right. So at the end of the day, y'all, man, we are at a point where we seeing injustice everywhere. Because, like I always say, and in my background, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we've been seeing injustice anywhere, and now justice is in jeopardy and threatened everywhere, all the way up to the president and all the way down to the common man. And when we gonna wake up? When we gonna realize that this is something that's directly affecting us? At the end of the day, Biden get in office again, we fucked beyond compare. Everybody, and I'm talking about Democrats too, screwed. You screwed. And the crazy thing about it is you screwed yourself. If we let this keep on happening, if people let this keep on happening just because they don't like the way somebody talk, we got a real problem here. We got a real problem. Because it ain't about what you say. It's about how you do the job, man. Period, man. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and probably end it right here. We're gonna go ahead and pop this off right here. It's been a good night, great live, man. I appreciate my man Sir Miguel for coming through, my man J Rock for coming through, my man Muse Black, Nisi Mo, and of course my man Big Vi for coming through this joint. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Every last one of y'all, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the fact that, you know, my likes supersede who was watching. So everybody that was coming in, jumping out, was liking. And make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. We are going to grow this channel, man, by hook or by crook. I promise you. We going to, man.
Yeah, shit, man. I enjoy myself.
Oh, all the time, man. You feed me on your channel. I gotta feed you, bro.
Oh yeah.
This is what we do together, man. And like I said, I appreciate your hard work and stamina in this, man, because it motivates me to get up and do a live. I wasn't planning on doing a live tonight. I got to do one tomorrow. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, it motivates me to, you know, keep my juices flowing. They keep iron sharpens iron out here. You know, and for all those in my channel who have not went over and subscribed to Big Vibe, make sure that you make a beeline. Don't walk, run over to his channel and subscribe. If you need me to drop a link, I'll go ahead and drop a link. And while I'm doing that, Big Vibe, you can go ahead and give them your salutations and whatnot.
Man, all I want to say is support the truth, man. That's it.
100%, bro.
Support your truth, not the truth they want you to support. And
absolutely. You know, like I said,
I appreciate the live. Keep up the good work, my brother.
Oh man, look, I'm gonna do it, and if they ask me why I did it for love. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and I'm out.
If you ask me why I did it for love. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and drop Big Fi's link off up in here. Make sure that everybody, we're going to go ahead and even pin that on top just so that y'all can see it and y'all can know what's going on. Make sure you like and subscribe to Big Vi Opinion if you want to hear some real, you know what I'm saying, you want to get exclusives. You want to, you know what I'm saying, you want to get anything that you want, you get over here or you felt like you didn't get over here, you can go over there and you can get it and vice versa. So on that note, man, Big Vi, you got anything to say before you get up out of here? You pretty much said it all.
The last thing I got to say is how long?
Man, how long, man? How long? How long? And we're going to keep that thing going. And like I said, Big Vi Opinion, you can go ahead and click on this link right here and get to my man's like, share, and subscribe to his content. And we're going to keep it moving, man. We're going to get the news out that we want to get. I'm talking about straight from the mud. Well, this is where we get ours, from the mud. So like I said, man, I love y'all to death. And like Big Vi say, how long? And we're gonna end it like that. How long? See y'all later on.
How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack them all? How long we not gonna make these youngers pull their pants up? How long we gonna keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gonna keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beat stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.